Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Nautilus, and I'll be taking him against Twisted Fate. I did say last week that I wanted to try out Nautilus against Twisted Fate. I figure that the fact that we are forced to discard 3 cards a turn off of the Will and Deal is not going to be relevant enough against Twisted Fate, because we'll just be drawing a whole bunch with all the damage we'll be dealing with our massive sea monsters. And since Deep gives an additional +1/+1 for every 5 cards you've drawn or tossed, in theory we're going to be able to achieve some massive amount of stats on most of our units that have Deep. So hopefully things will turn out that way. Zillion, Bard or Action. Bard doesn't seem that great overall. Kahiri ensures that we will always have cards in our deck. And Zillion is kind of fine, it gives us card draw, I guess. The problem is the Aspiring Chronomancer is not a sea monster, but we normally do have non-sea monsters in Nautilus deck, in our baseline Nautilus deck, so perhaps this is fine. I'm going to take Zillion. And for our power we get a Peasant's Fast Deal. Fast Deal is the best option, right? We get more card draw, we toss more cards because of the way card draw interacts with Nautilus powers. I suppose the bad part is that the cards we will discard off of the Will and Deal will be shuffled back into the deck. But maybe it's not so bad. Let's hope for the best. Most Wanted, Spirit Fire, Feral Prescience. Honestly, Most Wanted, although it's a slow spell, it's a bunch of card draw, which we desperately need when we're playing Nautilus. So let's pick it up. Fortune Croaker, Armed Acquisitioner, Shaped Stone. Do I take the Fortune Croaker just for the card draw? Or do I try to reroll into something better? Decisions. Let's take the Fortune Croaker. Time Bomb, baseline in our deck, sure. Seems fine. I need sea monsters. Now I'm going to start mulliganing for sea monsters. When is one another ally, give it +2, +0 this round, sure. None of these are sea monsters. Come on. Okay, now I'm getting upset. I'm taking Pilfered Goods, I guess. Oaky Stick is decent. Fastblade Mane is a sea monster. Let's reroll yet again. I guess we're taking Dedicant of the Challenge. The amount of sea monsters we got is not really that impressive. Hopefully we'll be able to purchase a couple in upcoming shops. We are in fact running the stacked deck, so we're incentivized to just straight up buy everything in every shop. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. I'm going to Dedicant of the Challenge whatever I draw here. I do start with 4 mana. Honestly, I might just... Oh, I thought Pokestick had ramp. My bad. Well, I'll drop Zillion down and then Dedicant of the Challenge then. Sure. Let's get the Time Bomb going. Let's Dedicant of the Challenge. Wait, we're already deep. Oh, we already hit deep, right? Yep. Interesting.
Came a long way for a boat.
I guess we drew that many cards at the start of the game.
Nothing really stays the same.
Now the question is, what do I play here? I'm just going to time bomb Pokey Stick. Or time bomb into time bomb, that's also an option. We keep growing our units, we go ahead and level up Zilli next turn. The opponent does have a pretty large board and is going to deal a bunch of damage off of the upcoming attack.
Not seeing the effort out of you.
But we should be fine. I hope we're fine. Our Nexus has stuff, so, and we have a decent amount of regeneration, so I think we can afford to take a little bit of damage.
The water rises.
If I could give Overwhelm to my units, that would be great. But at the moment I can't, so let's just go for the open attack. Place a card from your hand into your deck, predict, and create an exact copy of the predicted card. Well, let's place Nautilus back into our deck. I can't play the Inspiring Marshal yet, or this turn. So I suppose we'll go for the Dedicant of the challenge. Get more cards in hand and draw more cards. Would have been nice if I went for this play first, I suppose. Sure, I'll pass. We're getting more Dedicants of the challenge next turn. I can actually just go for Dedicant of the challenge to shuffle everything back into the deck. I'm tempted to do just that. Because it sounds like fun. If only I could give the Fortune Croakers Deep. I could go ahead and close out the game a lot quicker. We'll get a lot of shops up until the very end, so I'm going to be fine. I might even manage to get some decent combos going. Well then. The Warrior, Veteran Investigator, or Ivgar the Younger. I guess we're taking the Warrior because it's a sea monster. Item chest, spells chest. Item chest seems better. It's a rare reward instead of a common one. Hopefully it will be good. Yeah, the diving helmet is a rare reward. So there's a chance we'll get a diving helm. I hope so. I hope we get the diving helm at least. Let's get the Zillion down. We're going for the Dedicant of the challenge. Yeah, we'll go for a second one next turn. Seems like a decent play. And let's attack like so. Try to keep the opponent's board under control. We haven't hit deep already. This is just baseline off of the Dedicant of the challenge. Sure, let's drop down the second Dedicant of the challenge. Keep drawing, keep tossing, and sure, I'll trade in that one. Next turn, I can predict. Unfortunately, I ended up tossing one of the zillion bombs. Let's try to pick our deck. Most wanted. It's a form of refill. I'm no longer going for this zillion level up by this point. I don't think we'll be able to achieve it.
I'm back. It's so good to see you again.
Now let's attack with everything. We almost killed the opponent, but that's not the important part. I wanted to set up the pilfered goods. Let's see what you have in your deck, opponent. They're not the best cards, but their purpose is not to be good, is to just serve as fodder for one of my discard effects. Or they can be useful by well, serving for me to draw more cards and increase the stats of my deep units. Maybe I'll be able to hit the zillion level up.
I've learned what I can to help Acacia.
Just like that.
Adventure call.
Yeah, that's fine. You aren't even close to killing it. And now he's going to pass away next turn.
A bright future, just as I have always known it would be.
The boy took from me.
And there it is. The opponent really doesn't like that Dreadway deck, and I suppose wanted to get rid of it right before the end. An interesting choice, definitely. Especially considering that he could have killed one of the other units. I guess he just wanted to use the spell. Ooh, Zap Spray Fin with anti-up. Sure. It's a sea monster that's rather cheap because of the anti-up. And let's get more Raz Blood Mains because they're sea monsters. Even though I haven't actually played a Raz Blood Main this adventure, his time will come eventually. Summon a random dragon of my best cost or less. Well, if the opponents ever clear the board, that's going to be even more threatening. Well, I ended up getting a zillion for free instead of being able to play the ones I had in hand. So let's just dedicate of the challenge and toss a bunch, I suppose. Yeah, that's to be expected. I'm just going to attack like so. The powder monkeys don't really do any damage to our Nexus because our Nexus is stuff, so I'm safe on that front. I think I'm going to put the Inspiring Martial back on top of my deck, or back into my deck. Try to get something else. Sure, I'll be able to play Raz next turn, so maybe this is fine. Wait, it's fleeting. Well, that's unlucky. Well, in that case, let's try to get some card draw.
Practicing, and it's not perfect, but look.
If your prediction is correct, we have much
That's
to
a
look
lot of
forward to.
powder monkeys. I'm going to have to trade in
Listen to me.
most of my units. I definitely could have used the Raz Blood Main to develop a board here. I'll be alright. Oh, I got one anyway. Lucky me. Well, in that case, let's just drop him down. And let's attack like so.
Quickly.
force a block from the opponent. And go for the pokey stick on something. Sure, let's get rid of the powder keg, I suppose. Ooh, and we hit deep. I could have dealt a whole bunch more damage. Misplay on my end, but I don't think the damage would have really mattered. Sure, let's trade in the weaker unit. I'm going to summon another Raz Blood Mine. Next turn I'm going to attack with all of my units, and he is only going to be able to block the Zillion and the Gem Dragon. And this one, I suppose, because everything else is just going to either be fearsome or elusive, so we managed to close out the game that way. And we finally hit our first shop. Finally. It's about time. Ooh, do I want the Razor Scale Hunter or the Fortune Croaker? Let's go for the Razor Scale Hunter. Let's see. Mage's Handbook, Citrus Courier. For the power we have Gem Crafting. Not really synergistic with our deck, but do I want to bother with rerolling? The Shadowed Assassin is decent, honestly, because it's a draw one. Let's upgrade a card that's already in my deck. Let's buy 2 sea monsters. And I suppose I'll go for the Shadow Assassin. Yeah, let's take out 3. Yeah, let's take out 3 and do I want to reroll for the power? Let's reroll once. Titanic Wake, yep. Definitely a good decision to reroll. And we're not cutting a card. I need it. Let's just see if I remember what were the breakpoints. The breakpoints are every 12 cards in your deck past 18 at game start. So it's 30, 42, 54, 66. So the next goal is 42 cards at the starting in the starting deck. Let's keep the Dedicant of the Challenge, toss everything else. Never thought I'd want to keep this card. Normally this is such a bad card. But I suppose when your deck draws as much and as consistently as this one, you're fine with going ahead and going for the Dedicant of the Challenge.
It is a delight to watch you grow, Lisa.
If only I knew he had Lizandoli in hand. Well, at the very least the curses are fleeting, so it's not like I end up having to deal with them for a whole bunch of time.
Miss Moore, look what I can do. It is a delight to watch you grow, Lisa.
Damn. He really doesn't want the Dedicant of the Challenge to be free. Let's block there, block there, block there, block there. Let's pilfer the goods. Try to get something off of the opponent. We don't hit anything, but we're on our way to get to the At the very least, I'll be able to cast Most Wanted here. That definitely gets me too deep. And with my units deep, I can go ahead and do this. Get rid of the Morgana. Without the lifesteal, it's easier to close out the game. And let's get rid of the Chaincaster as well, sure.
Let's see what you're made of.
Leave us alone.
I thought for sure I was going to be able to close out the game here. The opponent bought himself an extra turn. What do I do here then? Let's go. First I'm getting rid of the curse, I think. Nah, let's keep the curse around. Let's go for the Fortune Croaker first. See what the opponent does. Of course he blocks. He stacks with the elusive, that's expected. Let's just drop down the Kahiri.
Remember,
And next turn I'm pretty sure I just win. Because I can just go for the scout attack.
We must own
The opponent curses my units further. A bit unlucky, but at the very least I can do this. Sure. That doesn't really bother me, I think. Because, yeah, I have more than enough on board to kill him.
Forgive me,
time is a teacher to us all.
Let's hope our rewards will be good. Power Rift, Party Rations, Locket. I suppose I'll take the rations, give a little bit more longevity to Zillion. I don't need additional Nautilus in deck. And hold it is decent enough at stalling the game out, so I'm going to take it. Yeah, let's go for the champion item chest. It's an epic one. Maybe I'll get double attack on Zillion or something, or elusive. That would be great as well. Let's keep the Fortune Croaker. Hit whatever we proc off of the deep here. Okay. Shadow Assassin. That's great. We even hit a time bomb. Or I can go Zap Spravin. No, let's go for the Fortune Croaker.
You pay, I got the spirits. These are my rules.
And then we go for the Zap. This was a very
Keep up.
heavy draw hand.
If you work, run if you don't.
Let's attack like so. Force a block. The block with the ephemeral, that's to be expected. Unlucky. He's going to get rid of my Shadow Assassin. Well, it's not like it's a key piece or anything, but I would have liked to have it around.
Excuse the mess. Nothing like the stink of blood.
Are you done? Please just get your attack over with. Oh no, that's unlucky.
Double pay for the next kill.
Captain's orders. Bullet to the face.
Well, there goes my shot at preserving my elusive units.
Silent as the deep.
At the very least, most of the opponent's board is going to get destroyed,
But I was quick.
but he drew a lot. I'm going to be able to proc Pilfered Goods this turn at the very least. So I can hit deep Yeah, I can hit deep. I'm even going to go for the Kahiri
It's so good to see you again.
to try and bait the opponent into
But I worry every second.
Swim quickly, little
going
fish.
ahead and blocking.
And drift away.
At the very least, he's not proccing the plunder off of those things.
I'm not done yet.
Yeah, that's fine. I can hit deep. That means my units
I
become
learn
massive.
what I can to help Acacia.
And I'm even going to further steal cards from your deck.
The void took from me.
You're welcome.
Now I'll take from it.
Play on.
I sharp as my spear.
The unfortunate part is definitely the fact that he gets to keep the smooth soloists. Oh, if only I had a way to deal 1 damage to the opponent's Nexus. But I don't. Let's just give that vulnerable. Of course he attacks with the only one that's not at risk of dying. I should have figured. Ooh, you hit deep as well, opponent. He probably stole a deep card. Well, at the very least I can go for the Citrus Courier this turn. Right after this upcoming attack. Yeah, that would have been scary if my units weren't larger.
Fated for the slaughter docks. Go back or under.
And that's not enough to survive this upcoming attack. He should have gone ahead and summoned something else off of the petty officer instead of the
Wasting time.
powder keg. That was a mistake on his end. One that probably... no, definitely not. I was about to say one that cost him the game, but I think the mistake that cost the opponent the game happened a while ago. Ooh, Vampiric Scepter on Zillion. Yeah, sure. We're going to get something for Nautilus here, I guess. Elusive Nautilus. It's going to be a massive unit hitting the opponent's Nexus consistently. That seems good. Do I want Mystic Meditation? I'll think about it before after I purchase these cards. Drumming Swarm, summon an exact copy of me. Not sure. I don't have any other shops upcoming, so let's splurge all our money here. Scarab of Sorrows, item chest. Yeah, I'd rather buy cards here. And then Herald of the Magus, Little Dipper, Insightful Investigator. Let's go for the Little Dipper. Seems fun. And I can't buy anything else. The breakpoint was 30, 42, 54. We hit the breakpoint. Scarab of Sorrows I have to pay, so let's go for the champion item chest. Unfortunately, we didn't hit enough shops, and we didn't have enough money to reach 66, but we didn't really need to, or at least I don't think we needed to. Hopefully this setup we have is enough to take on Twisted Fate. Let's go ahead and play the Zillion. Next turn I'm going for the Shadow Assassin.
The eyes depending on me.
Then let's go for the Dedicant of this challenge here. Whatever, I can still attack with the elusive.
Keep it up.
Ooh. The shell shockers are going to be a problem, especially because they're elusive.
To the rescue! Shelly! We're playing a different game.
Sure, let's go Shadow Assassin. Try to keep the ball going with the toss effects. The opponent's going to attack with Diaz, and it's going to hurt a lot. Or not. Why didn't he attack with the elusive shell shockers? I have no idea. Well, let's deal damage to that. Try to clear out some of the elusive units, I suppose. At the very least, we're going to hit for a lot with the our own elusives.
My boat, my rules.
I don't really want to play anything else, so I won't. It's a bit unfortunate that the opponent isn't really clearing most of my units. Let's see if I can get some card draw. That's a card draw. Please attack? No? Okay then.
You wanted wrath.
In that case, I guess I just attack with everything. Hope for the best. The opponent has to block with most of his units.
The waters nurture the mirage.
Let's go ahead and go for the Zillion level up. Or at the very least I'll try to. Ooh, never mind. I can go for the... Hopefully I can go for the heal here. The opponent managed to develop a board, so he survives.
You'll go no farther.
If only I managed to get overwhelm on my units.
Let's go, people.
It's still fine. I'm slowly working towards Zillion's level up.
I promised a bloodbath.
Oh, I can go for Citrus Courier here, right. The bombs do deal damage to the opponent's Nexus. So perhaps I can close out the game this time around.
Does he do this?
Finally. The opponent struggled for more time than they should have. A little bit of a jerk, to be honest. And now, finally, time for Twisted Fate. Zaps Griffin with more stats seems better. Especially because it's a card draw effect. Sure. Not cutting a card. King of Games. The way the Twisted Fate allows us to draw extra cards every time we deal the damage to the opponent's Nexus should also benefit us. 2+ damage to a Nexus. Yeah. It should also benefit us. see. Let's drop down a zillion because it's free. I'm probably going to follow it up with a dedicant of the challenge.
Haven't I been here before?
Sure.
I'm gonna love how tough this is.
The opponent isn't really doing much. Let's attack to try to keep his board under control. Draw one. Toss one. Draw one, toss one. Still pretty decent. I think I'll get these bombs going. Right, Titanic Wake. I even forgot I had that power, but I should have remembered because it's very good. Can I get something good off of this? Another bomb is good. That means I can level up Zillion now, or at the end of the turn, at least. Ooh, he doesn't even contest it. He just accepts it.
A bright future, just as I have always known it would be.
Now I can generate even more cards to shuffle back into the deck, because they'll be fleeting and fleeting cards get shuffled back in. 12 away from deep. Well, let's deal a bunch of damage to the opponent.
I'm sure.
Yeah, now that I think about it, considering that we can shuffle a bunch of cards into the deck, perhaps we'll be able to damage the opponent to death instead of just relying on the effect of the King of Games. Ooh, that's a bunch of cards the opponent just drew there. It's a bit scary. Fortunately, he no longer has Twisted Fate on board. Let's get the Devour of the Depths down. Let's preparations the Time Bomb. Yeah, Rasmus Bloodmane is fine. Even though we won't properly be able to proc it. Next turn I can go for double Devour of the Depths, or one at the very least, because of the Zillions. And the other one will be shuffled back into the deck. Yeah, this is good. First off, I'm going to start by attacking, dealing 100 damage. The opponent's also drawing a whole bunch. Ooh, finally we hit deep. That's exactly what I wanted. We're burning too many cards, perhaps. Well, let's drop this down over the Zillion because it's the smallest one, I suppose. That doesn't work, it's getting obliterated. Let's careful preparations. This one. Skip. Don't want any of those in my hand. The opponent can't do anything. Poor guy. And we have already dealt upwards of 200 damage. Perhaps I should actually try to close out the game, because the opponent's getting awfully close to going ahead and killing or drawing his old deck, which is the win con. perhaps this is a bad decision, because I'll summon or get a bunch of cards back into the deck.
I'm a people person.
But I think the extra damage should prove useful.
The future isn't what it used to be.
Let's attack with everything.
You're bluffing.
I'm tempted to just shuffle that thing back into the opponent's deck, just so he doesn't get to draw much more. Ooh, the Devourers of the Depths are definitely going to be what saves me here. Especially because I'll be able to double them up. Play all the Destiny cards you want, opponent. It's not going to matter. Let's keep drawing. I now have way too many cards that I need to draw. Playing Nautilus was definitely a mistake. At the very least, I now have access to free, or mostly free, sea monsters. Only be blocked with enemies for more power. Well, that's a problem for future me.
I suppose soon should be now.
Well, my units are growing larger and larger. Eventually I'll be able to one-shot the opponent's Nexus, especially considering that I'm already dealing 200 damage every time I attack with my full board. Yeah, that's nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. I think I need to keep copying the Riptides. Mostly because by this point I'm committed to the game plan of dealing damage to the opponent's Nexus until he dies. And in order to do that, I need to prevent the opponent from ever reaching the bottom of his deck. Perhaps I won't be able to hit a Riptide this turn. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess I'll create more Riptides, just so I have access to them at a future date. In the meantime, Deep keeps making my units bigger and bigger. Maybe we will in fact deal enough damage to the opponent's Nexus to kill him with damage instead of card draw. Next turn I'll be able to do it, or next attacking turn I'll be able to do it. Please place something. Oh, that's it. That's what I needed. Or at least I think that's what I needed. The extra attack might make it. Yep, I did it. I killed the opponent with damage instead of the way you're supposed to close out the game. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do so without the fast deal. A win's a win nonetheless. Definitely didn't expected things to turn out this way, but I'm glad they did, because I proved you could beat the Twisted Fate fight with damage alone. All you have to do is make sure your deck is basically infinite, and that you can stall out the opponent's card draw for enough time so that he doesn't win by decking himself out. Definitely an interesting run, if I do say so myself. But yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.